Go ahead.
All right, so we're ready to start.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a quorum?
Yes.
All right, very good. So we are started. This is the City of Green Bay Ethics Board meeting for Thursday, April 28, 2022. This meeting is being conducted via Zoom, and we have an agenda. We've got roll call electronically. So we'll move into first action item here, which is approval of the agenda. You all would have received that in your packet. Are there any additions or modifications to the agenda? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda for the April 28, 2022 meeting of the City of Green Bay Ethics Board. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Item D, approval of minutes from the February 24, 2022 Ethics Board meeting. That was also in your packet. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Good, hearing none. Is there, I forgot that. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is a second? All right, we have a motion and a second. And I'd just like to say, having read through those minutes, Aaron, nice job conducting that meeting. That was a complicated set of procedural things to go through. So, and it was done very well. So good, nicely done, very good. All right, all in favor of approval of those minutes from February 24, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item E, excuse me, deliberation with possible action on ethics complaint filed by Kimber Rowland against Mayor Eric Genrich under the City of Green Bay Code of Conduct for elected officials. So we will be going into, considering going into closed session. So I will read that provision from the statute. It states the following. The board may convene in closed session pursuant to section 19.85 sub 1 sub A of the Wisconsin statutes for the purpose of deliberating concerning a case which was the subject of any judicial or quasi-judicial or hearing before that governmental body. The board will thereafter reconvene in open session pursuant to section 19 sub 2 of the Wisconsin statutes to take action on any items discussed in closed session if appropriate, and to consider the remainder of the agenda. And just before we take a vote on going into closed session, I'd like to say that as chair, I think this meeting scheduled sooner. I know Attorney May was out of town for a while, and then I ended up being out of the office for most of March and early April. So this was the soonest we could get it available when we would have a quorum. So my apologies. But so we've got a consideration to go into closed session. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
Motion.
All right, I'll make the second for that. And so to do that, we need a roll call vote. Attorney Mather, you want to call the roll on that?
You bet. Alder Galvin.
Aye.
Chair Vandekessel.
Aye.
Ms. Rainier Wig.
Aye.
Mr. Weinschenk.
Aye.
Ms. Hathaway.
Yes, aye.
That passes 5-0.
All right. So we will, as soon as we get everybody separated into their appropriate rooms, we'll go into closed session.
Okay, and I'm going to do breakout rooms this time so that I don't have to leave my office because I got to keep working.
Oh.
So.
Very good. We are coming out of closed session. Is there a motion to return to open session?
So moved.
Cheryl. All right, we have a motion, and I will make the second to come out of closed session. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Right. Any opposed? Motion carries. We are back in open session. All right, for the record, we've been in closed session in a discussion. Is there a motion from the board with respect to the findings and conclusions of law and decision that was discussed with the changes?
I'll make the motion.
And I will second that motion. So the motion on the floor is to approve the findings.
Bill, Lindsay.
We're good.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank you. I just making sure it was a motion to approve.
yeah, a motion to approve. Yes. The findings of fact, conclusions of law, and decision of the ethics board in regard to Ms. Rowland's complaint against Mayor Genrich with the changes that were discussed in closed session. So we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. So based on the discussion in closed session, we will be issuing a full set of findings of fact, conclusions of law, and a written decision regarding those findings and conclusions. But the substance of that decision is that because the complaint was found to be deficient under the provisions of Section 8A of the Code of Conduct for the City of Green Bay elected officials, and because it alleges actions that are not encompassed by the Code of Conduct, that complaint is hereby dismissed. And again, the full findings of fact, be about 4 pages of a document about 4 pages in length, listing the findings and the conclusions of law that that decision was based on. As soon as the revised draft that was discussed in closed session tonight is made available, it will be entered into the record and provided to all the parties. Anything further on this issue from the board before we move on to item 2 in regular business? Hearing none. Okay, item 2, schedule the next board meeting for discussion of revised ethics ordinance. Lindsay, is that something you want to work out with the board as to when we could get together next? Or do you want to set a date now?
I would like us to, or like you all to discuss a date that works. I wanted to do this while Attorney May was here because he's been our outside counsel working on the revisions. But we're very excited because we're very close on presenting you with our ethics ordinance. So and I will defer to Attorney May, but I think, you know, relatively soon, a relatively quick turnaround time is appropriate. As far as when we would be ready to bring this back. So it's really going to depend on everyone's availability as far as that goes. We typically try for Thursday evenings at 5 if that continues to work for everyone.
Yeah, if we're going to do that, I would suggest, if it works in people's schedules, either May 12th or May 19th.
The 19th doesn't work for me.
When were we thinking?
At 5 again.
Oh, the 19th.
Sorry, Alder, I couldn't hear you.
I was just mumbling.
Oh, you're allowed.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the 12th is fine.
12th works for me as well.
And for me.
Okay.
Yep, 12th is fine.
Great. Looks like we have a date.
Fantastic.
Lindsay, has this ordinance been drafted in a rough form already, or is this like discussion starting from square one?
No, it's been full. Oh, well, Attorney May, do you want to speak to it?
Sure, it has been drafted. We've gone back and forth. I've had several consultations with the city attorney's office on the draft. And we would like to have to you, hopefully like well ahead of that meeting, a copy of the draft, and we're including some commentary on, what is the change, if any, from the existing code? Where did if there's a change, where did it come from? And, why do we think it's important? And hopefully, if you get it ahead, it'll give you some time to think about that and be ready to discuss it. I'm sure it'll take more than one meeting for the board to go through it and figure out where we go with it. But I think the attorneys are pretty confident that we're in a state where probably sometime next week we can get that out to you.
Very good. That's something that we've been waiting for at least 5 years.
5.
If not longer.
I won't say anything about the liquor laws.
It's next, I promise.
I hope I'm still here by then.
I've said that to you how many times now, though?
Yeah, I could have lost this time, and then what would that have accomplished?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
What was you asking about, Alder Gavin?
I asked to have the liquor laws revised.
Oh my God!
5-6 years ago.
Yeah, that's a real, well, yeah. I won't comment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got a date for the meeting. Anything more on that issue before we move to adjournment? No. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
A motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right. Motion to adjourn in second. All in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye.
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 Looks like the motion carries. Thank you all very much for your time tonight. And hopefully we will get a new updated current code of conduct here shortly. So very good. Thank you all. Very good. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.